With season 2 of the Netflix mega hit Stranger Things dropping today, all eyes will once again be on the fictional town of Hawkins, Indiana.
But you need look no further than the real city of South Bend to find tales of the unexplained. As the sun sets on South Bend, a different city emerges in the dark. In the shadows of the night, something changes. Sometimes heard, occasionally seen, but rarely explained. No one knows that better than Jeffrey Price.
We had people calling us saying, hey, I've got something in my house, my kids are uneasy, we don't know what it is.
For the last 5 years, Price and the Michiana paranormal investigators have been answering those calls. They've done many investigations, but none quite like South Bend's famed State Theater.
You know, we were there a few times in 2013, 2014, and out of any place I think I've ever been to in my career doing any sort of paranormal investigations, that place I would say is #1 on the list.
During the investigation, the basement proved to be a hotspot of paranormal activity.
We had a motion light that we put on one of the railings to signal a infrared camera we had focused on that, so if something had moved past that, you know, it would light up the light. But we had the light fall off the shelf for no reason, and we tried to recreate putting it there and falling it off, and we could not recreate it. There was no wind. I mean, you're talking like the basement here.
At one point, the investigation turned physical for one newcomer to the team.
All of a sudden, you could hear him, you know, complaining about something on his back. So we, you know, got him out of there, and we went upstairs. If you looked at his back, there were red scratches down his back, and you know, I was watching, you know, him the entire time. He didn't go and you know, like try to scratch his back, and where the scratches were, you can't even get your hand to that spot, and there was no one else around him. Everything lined up though to say maybe we shouldn't be here right now.
The State Theater isn't the only stage in South Bend where the show continues when the curtain comes down. Just up the street at the Civic Theater, a different cast, but the same plot.
There was a report of someone, of like people that were actors and, you know, doing performances, you know, seeing somebody on this landing, and when they would go in and come back out, the person would be gone, and it was always described as the same person.
Price and his crew never found that person, or at least they didn't see them.
We were upstairs in the balcony, and we were talking, and you heard like this big, it was like something dropped, like someone dropped something like right behind us, and again, there was no one there. We couldn't find out what it was, and it was just, you know, weird. It was just, you know, very, very creepy.
A short walk down LaSalle Avenue will take you to a popular Notre Dame haunt, rumored to serve up a different kind of spirit.
On the second floor of the building used to be a brothel back, I mean, years and years and years and years ago.
Back in 2015, ABC 57 followed Price and his crew upstairs for their investigation.
We heard noises upstairs. We heard one of our team members at the time, you know, saw something, and it's just an amazing, amazing location for it, just because of one, the history behind the place, and two, you know, just the upstairs had been sealed off for so long.
But when it comes to the city's most haunted locations, perhaps none is more notorious than a late-night drive along Primrose Road. You don't have to look far to see the reminders of South Bend's past. Spirits from decades gone by are rumored to walk among some of the city's most famous spots. But if you want to experience the most notorious haunts, you need to travel to the very edge of the city.
Oh, I think all of my friends at some point have gone out there, and I mean, you're not a real true South Bend, you know, resident unless you go out to the Primrose area, you know, once or twice in your life.
Primrose Road sits on the city's northwest side. It's now home to new developments, but that wasn't always the case. This dark stretch of road was even darker and more deserted not so long ago.
But going out there at night is just very eerie. I mean, the feeling in the air, you can definitely feel there's something. It's not like walking down your normal block where you feel comfortable. It's an uneasy feeling. You definitely feel like something's there.
It's that feeling that's drawn people to the area for the last several decades, including ABC 57 producer Sarah Ward, who made the trek as a young teen.
Oh, you're thinking to yourself, as soon as I can get a ride out there, or we're old enough to drive on our own, we're going around Halloween.
For some, it proves to be just an ordinary drive down a dark road, but for a certain few, it's a journey to something that defies explanation.
Urban legend that I heard was just this road out in the country is like haunted. There's a house out there.
People seeing things in the woods, a rock that appears, that disappears, a house that appears and disappears, you know, people yelling and screaming in the woods at 2 a.m. when there should be no one out there.
For the ones brave enough to make the drive, the memories are clear.
There was a van of us. I can clearly remember. It was one of those kind of passenger vans, so there was like 3 rows of seats. We literally drove around for probably an hour, maybe an hour and a half, and just could not find this road anywhere.
And that's when the road found them.
All of a sudden, the brakes are slammed, and we're like shoved into the back side of the seat. And we're like, what is going on? We all look straight forward, and there is a deer standing in the middle, staring at us in the headlights. No joke. The deer turns its head, and there is the freaking house we had been looking for all of this time, and we realize we're on Primrose Road.
The wooded road now shows no trace of an old house, but for those who were there that night, it was very much real.
I'll tell you that it's something that you'll never forget. You know what I mean? Like, I'm 35, and I was probably 16 years old. I will vividly remember exactly what happened. You know what I'm saying? So it's something that sticks with you, and it's just the oddest experience. I can't explain it, and I know that I'll never forget it.
So, should you find yourself driving down a dark country road on South Bend's northwest side late at night, sipping on a spirit at your favorite haunt, or waiting in the dark for the curtain to rise, and you find yourself witness to something that just can't be explained, just remember, stranger things have happened.
Indeed they have.
Now, if you're not in the mood for a weekend TV binge of Netflix's Stranger Things, I don't know what else will get you in the mood.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Absolutely. It just gets you in the mood this time of year with Halloween and, now Netflix releasing season 2.
Yeah.
It's just the time where stories like these, even if you don't believe it, it's just fun to hear them.
It's fun to share and also get to know this area better. I never would have gone to Primrose Road, but
and there's plenty of other places too. These were just the tip of the iceberg. There were so many others that we heard of that we didn't get around to. So all you have to do is get on the internet and you'll find plenty of interesting places to explore around here this Halloween.
I will say, it's what I was going to say. It's an interesting, unique energy out there on Primrose Road.
It sure is.